The letters beneath the willow tree. In a quiet village nestled between green hills and a silver-blue river, there stood a willow tree that had witnessed generations of love, loss, and longing. It was under this tree that Alara first met Nathaniel. Alara was a schoolteacher, young, bright-eyed, with a heart full of stories she had never told. She had moved to the village seeking peace after her father's death, hoping the countryside's calm could mend her broken heart. Every evening, she walked to the willow tree and sat beneath its sweeping branches, sketching, reading, or simply listening to the wind. Nathaniel was a writer, returning to the village after 10 years of traveling abroad. His childhood had been spent there, and the willow tree was the place where he had once written his first poem. Now, he came back seeking inspiration, and perhaps something more. One evening, their paths crossed. Alara was reading a book when Nathaniel, carrying a leather journal, approached the tree. They exchanged polite greetings, and for several days after, they shared the space beneath the tree in silence. Until one afternoon, the silence broke. "What are you reading?" Nathaniel asked. Alara smiled. "A collection of love letters from the 1800s. It's amazing how people wrote with such honesty back then." He nodded. "I've always believed the most beautiful words are written in ink, not typed." From that moment on, conversation flowed easily. They talked about books, dreams, fears, and the ache of things lost. Nathaniel shared that he had once been engaged, but life and distance had taken that away. Alara told him about her father, the man who taught her that kindness was strength. Weeks passed, and seasons changed. The willow turned golden as autumn arrived. Their meetings beneath the tree grew longer. Nathaniel began to leave short poems in the knot of the tree's bark where a hollow had formed. Alara replied with her own verses, hidden in the same spot. Then, winter came. One cold December morning, Nathaniel received a letter calling him back to the city for a publishing opportunity. It was everything he had worked for, but leaving meant walking away from Alara. He told her everything beneath the willow, snowflakes melting on their coats. "Do you think some things are meant to happen only once?" she asked softly. "No," he said, taking her hand. "I think the best things are worth returning to." They kissed for the first time under the bare branches. Nathaniel left the next day. Weeks turned to months. Alara waited, unsure of what the silence meant. She continued her visits to the willow, where no new letters appeared. Spring arrived, then summer. Still, no Nathaniel. One day, just as she was about to leave the tree behind for good, she found a letter in the hollow. "I thought I had to leave to become the man you deserved. But I realized I already was that man when I was beside you. I'm home, if you'll have me. N." Alara turned to see him standing by the river, older, tired, but with eyes that still held poetry. She ran to him, tears falling freely. They married under that very willow tree 1 year later, with the whole village watching. And in every season after, they returned, reading letters to each other, leaving poems in the bark, and proving that some love stories aren't written in a rush, but carved gently over time. Where the river meets the sky. The small town of Elmsworth lay hidden between pine-covered hills and a lazy bend of a wide, glimmering river. For most people, it was just another quiet place on the map, but for Claire Evans, it was home, her sanctuary, her solitude, her whole world. She was the town's librarian, known for her love of classic novels, her gentle smile, and the way she always paused to watch the sky before unlocking the library doors each morning. Life was steady for Claire, predictable. And she liked it that way. Until the day he walked in. Elias Carter had once been a successful travel photographer, chasing storms across continents and capturing lightning with a lens. But after a tragic accident claimed his younger brother's life, an accident Elias blamed himself for, he disappeared from the world. No more exhibitions. No more interviews. Just silence. And now, after 2 years of wandering, he'd arrived in Elmsworth, carrying only a battered camera bag and grief in his eyes. They met in the most ordinary way. Elias wandered into the library on a rainy afternoon, looking for a map. Claire looked up from the front desk, startled by the soaked stranger. "Storm caught you too?" she asked with a soft smile. "I chased it," he said. Something about his voice stirred her. It held both weariness and wonder. Over the weeks, Elias kept returning. Sometimes for books. Sometimes just to sit by the window. He barely spoke, but Claire noticed things, the way he studied the rain, how he lingered near the poetry shelf, how his fingers brushed against the camera strap like a lifeline. One day, she left a note tucked between the pages of a book he often borrowed. "Even the broken find beauty in storms. See." He returned the book a week later, with a photograph inside, a candid shot of Claire watching the sunrise from the library steps. On the back, he had written, "Where the river meets the sky, hope is born." E.C. It became their secret language. Words and photos. Notes hidden in books. Glances shared across shelves. Slowly, quietly, a bond formed. Claire didn't push. She never asked about his past. She only offered kindness, space, and time. One evening, as autumn leaves danced through the air, Elias invited her for a walk along the river. They spoke little, but as the sky blazed gold and pink, he turned to her. "My brother's name was Noah," he whispered. "I took him on a trip. A storm hit while we were climbing. I told him we'd be safe. We weren't." Claire reached for his hand. "You survived. Not because you deserved to, but because you still have something left to see. To feel. To give." He broke down that night, for the first time in years. And she stayed. Not to fix him, but to simply be there. Seasons passed. The town of Elmsworth bloomed again in spring, and so did Elias. He began to take photos once more, this time of quiet things, a child chasing a butterfly, an old couple holding hands, Claire laughing with them.